Channel 4 News begins right now with a local breaking news alert.
Good evening, everyone. Right now, we're following 3 local breaking news alerts. We begin with a gun found inside a car at Englewood High School.
The school is on Barnes Road, south of Spring Glen Road and east of I-95. At this moment, a man is in custody after police arrested him at the school. Channel 4 Scott Johnson is looking into this local breaking news. Scott, we've heard several parents have already been notified about this gun incident.
They have been. This is a letter, a copy of a letter that was sent this morning. This happened early this morning in the parking lot here at Englewood High. That's when you had an 18-year-old by the name of Tamalis Clark sitting in a car. He was not a student here. Police show up and the student resource officer shows up and asks what he's doing there, sees a gun inside the car with a knife and bullets, pulls him out of the car and cuffs him. I want to read you an excerpt of the letter sent home to parents. This incident continues to remind us about the importance of school and student safety. Thanks to the current security measures in place and the quick actions of those assigned to securing the parking lot area, the situation was quickly addressed. I talked to some parents out here who had not heard the news and were not happy.
That's not a good thing. Wow. Did you hear about that? No, see, we ain't heard nothing about that one.
They ain't anything about that.
Yeah,
that's all new.
They didn't send no text out neither.
Yeah, they sent a letter home today to parents. Well, can you believe that would go on? I mean, what do you think right now in this day and age with guns on campus?
Oh, it's dangerous. It's so dangerous with guns out here. These kids keep messing with them. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Suspect Tamalis Clark, 18-year-old, once again not a student here, told the officer he was having some sort of ongoing problem with 2 students here on campus. So investigators did see him. The student resource officer noticed the car, noticed it had been sitting there too long, and before the suspect could drive off, investigators say the suspect was pulled out of the car. We're live at Englewood High. Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.
Thanks, Scott. Our second local breaking news alert involves a cold case that goes back almost 3 decades. A Jacksonville man is now charged with sexually assaulting and strangling a 10-year-old girl on the west side in 1984. State Attorney Angela Corey and Sheriff John Rutherford announced DNA evidence led to the arrest of James Leon Jackson, who lived next door to 10-year-old Tammy Welch. The child was last seen playing outside with her sister in the courtyard of their apartment complex on 103rd Street. Jackson was interviewed at the time of the murder, but police say they didn't have enough evidence to arrest him until now.
As DNA science evolved and advanced, evidence was checked and rechecked. Finally, in 2012, multiple items of evidence from Tammy's murder were sent to a forensic DNA lab for examination. In December of 2012, investigators were notified that a partial DNA profile was in fact obtained from an item of evidence from Tammy Welch's sexual assault kit. To further their examination, the forensic lab requested all of the DNA samples taken from individuals during the course of the previous investigation. A comparison was made and the sample submitted and profile developed. In January 2013, investigators were told that the 28 years of Tammy Welch's murder walking free were finally over. A partial DNA profile obtained from the sexual assault kit had identified to the DNA cheek swab of James Leon Jackson.
Jackson was arrested this morning. He insists he is innocent and says he never knew Tammy Welch. Coming up at 6, we'll have more on this arrest and how police caught up with Jackson more than 28 years after the crime.
Now to our third local breaking news alert.
It comes from Everbank Field. A number of announcements from the Jaguars. Haley Winslow is already getting reaction from fans, but we begin with Sam at the stadium. Sam, what is the biggest announcement?
Probably the biggest announcement is a new logo for the Jaguars, and it's on this hat, as you can see. It's a streamlined, different typeface, a little smaller. You could call it perhaps a little more authentic Jaguar-looking head for the new Jaguar logo. It still remains the white, the black, the gold, and with the teal tongue as well as the old logo had originally. The Jaguars also announced today that they're going to raise ticket prices incrementally, about a total of 2% across the board. Also some new information about a fan club in London and some of the international initiatives that are going on there as well. And perhaps as early as 2014, giant video boards in either end of the stadium. That would be the biggest not only in the NFL, but maybe the biggest in the world. To join us to talk about that is the president of the club, Mark Lamping. Mark, a lot of, as you guys called it, bold initiatives, including a new kind of slogan, Stand United.
Well, for us to be successful, and the best NFL brands are those that are reflective of the community. And there's probably no better definition of any community in the United States as being bold as Jacksonville. You know, the evidence in the NFL was back in the mid-'90s when this community defied all odds to get an NFL team, and we want to do everything we can to build upon that and hopefully bring the first world championship here.
Mark, you've also brought the word Jags into the lexicon, whereas we were told in the first couple of years not even to use that word.
Well, that's, you know, sometimes time changes things. And I know that I hear a lot of people using that, and we're really excited about that and putting into the context of our salute to the military. The badge that it's contained in is inspired by the badges on servicemen and servicewomen. And, you know, military is such an important part of this community. It wouldn't be appropriate for somebody like the Jaguars not to have as part of our essence a salute to the military.
Trying to create some excitement. You clearly have done that.
Well, it's been a great day, and it's been a wonderful year, but we have so much more work to do.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Sam.
Mark Lamping, the president of the Jacksonville Jaguars, announcing a lot of sweeping changes here. Nothing that is totally out of the ordinary, but certainly, as they like to call it, a fresh start and a new beginning. Some people are very happy about it. Some people aren't so happy. Haley Winslow checked in with some of those. Haley?
Sam, I'd say fans are pretty excited, and as you know, when Shad Khan unveiled the new logo, he said, "That's one cool cat," and that cool new cat is popping up already all over the stadium. They just put these flags up on the light pole. It's part of the new branding to be proud, bold, and committed. The Jaguars are unveiling a new look, and some fans like it, especially the new logo.
Oh, I think it's cool, and anything that can signify a fresh start and something new for the Jaguars would be great.
I think it's great. I think it shows that we are progressing along. I'm not real sure that the logo is going to determine how we win or lose games. I love our new owner. I love the coach. I think it's a great thing for the city of Jacksonville, and we're season ticket owners, so go Jags.
Jaguar fans are ready for change after 2 wins this past season.
It was ugly, but at least there's hope on the horizon.
That hope is the new look and leadership.
The coach we have, he's just full of energy. You know, it's just like he don't have a bad day.
It'll be kind of a fresh start that I think we were hoping for last year but didn't get, and I'm hoping for good things this year.
Realistically, it might be a stretch for the Jags to think playoffs next season, even though some fans are already pointing to New York City.
Well, I think the Jaguars going to the Super Bowl probably 2014 next year.
Go Jaguars! But 4-year-old Samantha Wooding says it all boils down to one thing.
Win games.
This is another logo I wanted to show you. It's from a badge taken off of a soldier's uniform, and it's part of showing our support for our military, part of the new branding, the new identity to stand united. And I asked Shad Khan, we asked him about other looks on the field, and he said, you know, new uniforms, stay tuned. Reporting live at Everbank Field, Haley Winslow, Channel 4, the local station.
Well, that logo sure looks good on your hat right there, Haley. You wear it well. Any idea whether women and men, do they have differing ideas? Do the women like it better, the new logo?
I think everybody I showed it to, which, you know, they just unveiled it about 20-30 minutes ago, but they all liked it, women and men, and there's a bunch of different logos. Oh, another thing I wanted to tell you too, on that logo, the military one, it says Jags. Shad Khan says Jags is now an official nickname of our team.
Haley, let me read you.
Go Jags.
This is how quickly, you said, you know, they just unveiled it about, well,
20
started
minutes ago?
about 4 o'clock, their news conference. Online, one of the online bloggers, Haley, has already written, the fans of Los Angeles are going to love this whenever the team ends up moving there, you know?
Oh, gosh.
They can't ever get rid of that.
Let the debate begin.
Yeah. Let it begin.
There we go. Okay.
Thanks,
Haley
Haley.
Winslow reporting to us live. Thanks, Haley.
An arrest in a shooting death last Friday night. 22-year-old Eric Fuller appeared in court, charged with killing 22-year-old Carlton Hardiman on West 19th Street in Northwest Jacksonville. Police say the shooting grew out of a drug deal. Deputies arrested Fuller in Nassau County after a crash there. They say he admitted to the deputies that he had shot someone in Jacksonville.
The second-degree murder trial of George Zimmerman will go ahead as scheduled this summer, despite attempts by Zimmerman's attorney, that is, to delay it. Today, Zimmerman's legal team said it was too much work to do before the trial, which is expected to start June 10th. Attorney Mark O'Mara filed a motion last week seeking a 6-month delay, saying he needs more time to raise funds for expenses and to look for new evidence, or look over new evidence, excuse me. The judge denied the request, saying ample time has been provided. The judge did grant O'Mara permission to subpoena records from the Sanford 7-Eleven where Trayvon Martin bought Skittles and an iced tea shortly before he was shot and killed. They were also granted access to Martin's cell phone data. The next scheduled court hearing is in March. Zimmerman has pleaded not guilty on grounds he acted in self-defense. Today would have been Trayvon Martin's 18th birthday.
Deputies caught breaking the law.
Instead of stopping, cameras snap photos of them running red lights. Where this happened, just ahead.
How much you say, 188 bucks? That's the ticket cost, I hear. Anyway, look, the story is this. Radar last 3 hours tracking rain. I said rain. It's back. We'll have the full detailed forecast in about 4 minutes.
I'm Jim Pickett, live downtown. I'll show you why your smartphone may give you a smart way to park down here. Coming up on the local station.
More local news now. One of the biggest complaints that city officials hear about downtown is the scarcity of parking.
Now comes a promise of new help finding a spot, help that fits right in the palm of your hand, a new app to let you know where you can find a parking meter on these streets. Channel 4's Jim Pickett is joining us live from downtown to show us just how this app will work. Jim?
Tom, I have the app right here. It's on my smartphone. It'll be available really soon. But just by hitting this, it will let you know parking spaces like this behind me, when this would be free or if it is free and a place for you to go. Now, this is only a test right now, but it's something the city wants to do.
People don't come downtown because they know it's going to be difficult to find parking.
If you're unlucky at finding parking spaces like this downtown, well, your luck may have just changed. The city is teaming up with a company called Streetline to allow people with iPhones or Android phones to find open parking meter spots downtown.
But parking has always been a big issue, and we know that. And so this is one way to really look at technology to help us.
The app's called Parker. It's free and will go online in Jacksonville next month. Right now, the company is installing sensors like this that will pair up with GPS technology and let drivers know when a space is open. This is just a test period, and 100 meters along these roads from the landing to City Hall will be monitored. Let me show you how this works. If you were driving around downtown and needed to find a place to park, well, you could pull up this app on your smartphone, and it actually shows you which meters are open, which ones are available. You just hit it, it tells you how much it costs to park an hour, and there's some other neat little gimmicks that go along with this, like telling you when the time is about up.
An app like this, I think, is a great first step in terms of getting people to understand that there is ample parking downtown.
And those who park downtown say
everyone uses their smartphone these days, so I think that would definitely be a benefit, helpful.
Again, this is only going to be a test for about 3 months. They are also going to check some other companies that want to do this as well. And when the city decides, well, then they'll have to make an investment. That's how the companies can make some money off of this. We're live downtown. Jim Pickett, Channel 4, the local station.
Tracking inconvenient weather where you live. Channel 4 is the weather authority.
Of course, the nice thing about that is you can try to find a parking meter that's close to where you can get in and out in case it's raining.
Yeah.
Raining?
You talk of rain?
Exactly.
Did you
like
run
what
into...
fell out of the sky this morning?
I see. You know, Mary was
I didn't even see it. How did I miss that?
It was just brief, few sprinkles. Okay. I don't know. That's all I had, Tom.
I'm keeping score, John. I'm
all
watching.
Right. And little sprinkles?
Yeah, sprinkle.
Yeah, that was about it. 10 o'clock?
About 10:30?
Yeah, something like that. Here, take a peek outside. We still have the gray skies. And
gray skies, John, in Jacksonville?
Wouldn't you know it? Look, the big story here is the fact that these gray skies are going to provide some scattered sprinkles for you tonight. So if you have some plans for your Tuesday evening and you're going to be out and about, you're going to need the umbrella because there will be enough rain falling from the sky to get a little bit damp. In fact, these clouds...
The man charged with murdering a well-known Navy SEAL and his friend is now under suicide watch in jail.
And we're learning more about the timeline that led up to the deadly gun range shooting over the weekend. How we're told the two victims were trying to help the suspect. Next. Now here's Rob with a look at what's ahead in the next half hour.
Well, here's some of what we're working on at 5:30. Detectives say it could have been a whole lot worse. They've arrested a teenager accused of trying to seduce a 10-year-old. What Camden County deputies and the teen's family are saying about the charges. The skies may be friendly, but they're going to be more costly. More airlines are going up on their fares. Why the cost of a ticket will cost you more. And one teenager found out the hard way. There are some things you just shouldn't do, like making a judge angry. That's one of them. What happened after she made the wrong gesture? Join us at 5:30.
We're learning new information about an Iraq War veteran who is charged with shooting and killing 2 men, including Chris Kyle, a highly decorated former Navy SEAL who was also a best-selling author.
Reports say the family of the accused shooter reached out to Kyle for help. Former Marine Eddie Ray Routh was known to be struggling with personal issues. Kyle and his friend Chad Littlefield spent countless hours counseling fellow war veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. Kyle and Littlefield went with Ralph to the shooting range last Saturday afternoon to work together. A couple hours later, a hunting guide found Kyle and Littlefield's bodies. Ralph was gone. One of Kyle's friends described his passion for helping veterans.
He was very concerned that service members felt discarded when they returned home. He wanted to help facilitate their transition from war to productive civilian life.
Police later arrested Ralph near his home after a brief car chase. Investigators say Ralph admitted to his sister that he killed both men. He's under suicide watch in jail.
As President Obama campaigns for his gun control proposals, the number of federal background checks for firearm sales declined unexpectedly last month, but was still the second highest number on record. The decline follows a surge toward the end of last year. In December, more than 2.7 million people applied for a background check to purchase a weapon. In January, the number fell to 2.4 million, but it is still a larger number than any other month in the previous year. Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi saw the largest declines in background checks from December to January.
We now have some of them up and running on Jacksonville streets, those red light cameras.
A Central Florida town has them too. See that? They've been catching cops running red lights. What one sheriff's office has to say about these disclosures. Next.
You might say several Orange County sheriff's deputies have been caught red-handed, breaking traffic laws.
Public records from last year have revealed at least 6 deputies in Apopka were among drivers who were seen on camera running a red light. You can see the flash from the red light camera catching this deputy's cruiser driving right through an intersection long after the light had turned from yellow to red. For all 6 deputies caught, their emergency lights were not on.
It's a good thing to seeing that they're getting caught, but they shouldn't be breaking the rules either.
It's about time, because it's not fair that we get ticketed for the simplest things.
Apopka police say each ticket was paid in full by the individual deputy and not the Orange County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office declined to say much more about this until it is finished reviewing the violations by the deputies.
Well, stay with us. There's more to come.
The news continues with Rob.